my seed catalog showed up in the mail before Christmas. Oh, and I've been torturing myself by not opening it because there's something very important that I need to do first. And that is, I need to go through the seeds I already have before I overbuy. I could buy the large version of every single seed in this catalog, and that would be a bad idea. So the better idea is that before I even start looking at this, I get a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to be doing in my garden, and I also look at what I already have, so I'm not rebuying something that I still have and basically just turn all these good seeds that are from this last year into garbage by just not using them before their expiry dates. I use the most lovely and efficient seed storing technique of in the box that they were shipped to me from. I don't necessarily recommend this. I also, for your seed shelf life, don't recommend where I've been storing this, which was outside on a table. Bad idea. You should keep it in some cool, dry, out of the sun type spots if you want your seeds to last for a really long time. So it's not that I won't spend money on seeds, because I obviously do. I spend a lot of money on seeds, but if I can buy bulk and save myself some money, that's what I'm gonna do. And so what I normally do is I check out the shelf life of the seeds. You know, some stuff is only good for 1 year. And in that case, I only buy what I'm gonna be planting for that 1 year. But there's some things, you know, like peas and beets and, you know, just really basic stuff that's gonna be good for 3 years without having any germination problems. And so because of that, I'll buy, you know, package size that is excessive. I can get a package that costs twice as much as the single size, and it's gonna have 5 times as many seeds in it. By doing that, I can get, you know, some discounts that kind of add up over the years, and, you know, it helps to then not have to worry about when you go to have to do replantings about not having enough seed on hand, especially because I'm a snob and I like to get all of my seeds from West Coast Seeds, and that means I'm gonna have to order them and get them mailed to me, which I might be resistant to do. Like for my beans on the 3rd planting, I might just break down and, you know, give up or just buy a seed that I'm not as excited about. So I like having the bulk, even though for some people it might become a difficult system to use. Part of my really high-tech garden organization system is I don't throw away my seed packets when I use them up, because I actually use my empty seed packets as the way of tracking what I'd planted in my garden variety-wise in the previous year or years before. Because I always buy from West Coast Seeds, I can figure out what year they're from because they actually say what year they are on their packaging. So if I'm like, oh, what did I plant last year? You know, I just take a quick peek at the date on the package. But, you know, if I have one and it's 2014, then I know that that's a variety that I didn't have last year. You know, that would be going a couple of years back. But, you know, maybe it's a variety that I did like and I want to try again, and those seeds were sold out. There is a reason why I've kept the package in here. If it's a variety that I tried and I didn't like it and I used up everything, I'm just going to throw it out. It's, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Don't grow that again. So I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea to keep the don't order these again pile too, so I don't reorder them having think I'd never tried it. But like I said, this is a high-tech system. I can also get away with doing this as messy as it is because basically the entire garden plan is in my head, down to the fact that I'm the one who plants everything into the garden. So I know what's coming up where, you know, I don't have to worry about Ian going into the garden and being confused because he's just not going to do that. He knows that I know what's going on and to not touch anything until I've told him that it's safe for him to start meddling. So basically what I do to take stock of my seeds is I go through all my packages and I find what I have. I check the date on the seed packets to see if they're super old. You know, there's some stuff that we didn't like, so we never did plant again, that I still have seed for, but I'm not going to use it. And I make sure that I have everything that I've kind of purchased the year before to use for the 2 years sorted, and then I put it along with my seed catalog so that when I go flipping through the seed catalog, circling everything that I want to buy, I have the seeds that I already own that are going to be for that year there, so I know not to circle the things that I already have so I don't double buy. I know this amount of seeds might seem a little excessive, you know, especially when you consider the fact that, you know, there's stuff that's been planted and isn't in here anymore. But another thing that you need to take into consideration is what are the sizes of your growing space that you're working with. Obviously, our garden is quite large, and we also are doing rotational planting. That means we don't just plant things once. As soon as stuff comes out, we're replanting. So we actually purchase a lot of seeds. Last year, I think we spent about $200 on our seed purchase in the spring, and that kind of got us through, except for we did do some fall vegetable seed purchasing. That was something we hadn't planned for. For this coming up 2018 season, Ian and I are wanting to shift our focus a little bit. We want to kind of go for a little bit more dense produce. We haven't really considered, you know, what we can get out of the garden before. It's just been grow the amount that we need. You know, we've grown the amount of tomatoes that we need to be our annual supply, grown the amount of garlic that we need, you know, and then basically work down from our favorites into what space is left and things that we'd like to experiment. But this year, you know, we're going for producing more than we are going to be eating just for ourselves. We want to get involved in sharing the produce in our garden. We want to bring a little bit of a tithing concept to the garden of, you know, when we have so much abundance, it really should be important that a certain amount of that is shared with people who don't have what you have. And, you know, we've joked about it that we can't give produce away to our friends and family. And it is true that, like, everyone that we know to give produce away to either has a garden or, you know, there's only so much that people can take. So we want to try to find someone that we can partner with, or maybe a couple different places that we can partner with and do regular donations of food to charity. And so because of that, we're going to be growing some stuff that maybe, you know, we personally don't care about, but we know they're things that people other than us would like salad. We don't grow a ton of salad because there's so many things that we'd rather eat, but it's a good item for sharing with people who maybe aren't as, you know, picky about what they want out of the garden. Another thing that I personally need to take into account when it comes to what I need to do before I'm allowed to start in on my seed catalog, it really is torture. I had to put it like out. I had to put it like away so it wouldn't torture me. But another thing that we need to consider is we want to be doing starts for sale. So because of that, we're going to need more seeds, and also we're going to need a variety of things. Like, we quite often will just grow one variety of something because it's our favorite and we know it grows well, but we would probably need to have, you know, rather than just one tomato plant, you know, we're gonna need a bunch of varieties. Same with peppers. Like, we only grow giant cayennes. That's the only hot pepper that I grow. I did some jalapenos, but giant cayennes, they make the best hot sauce. They produce well, but, you know, other people aren't such, you know, Nazis about what they grow in their garden. So, you know, I'm gonna need a variety of those, which means I'm gonna have to be buying smaller packets. But the hope is the money that we're going to make on selling, you know, some starts here and there is going to more than make up for what we've paid for in having to buy these extra seeds. And also it's going to give us an opportunity to experiment with some things, because we're going to be left with stuff that isn't going to sell. And obviously I'm going to be like, oh, I guess we better like rip out the only grass we have and plant these in. Which won't happen because Ian will come and he'll put his foot down. But, you know, we might start growing some things other than radishes in the lawn by accident. So if I have the willpower to do it, to resist getting started into here until I have an idea of what I'm gonna want, and until, most importantly, I'd say this is the most important tip of all, before you take stock of what you already have, I'm sure that you guys can do it too. That's one of the fun things about, you know, having a first-time garden. You don't have to be limited. I mean, obviously be limited because your space is going to be limited, I'm sure. Don't start with a garden my size. Don't start with the $200 worth of seeds. Like, build up to that. You're going to want to get a little bit of efficiencies under your belt before you try to go and plant and maintain the garden size that we're currently working with. But, you know, see what you have and then get excited, because this is what you get to do next. So I'd love to know what you guys have planned for your 2018 gardens. I don't know if you are already ordered. I'm the worst. I quite often forget to order seeds because we have such late season here. You know, I can order in April and I'm good to go, but then things are sold out. So I'm crossing my fingers that I'm ordering early enough this year to get everything that I love. But if you've already gotten your seeds, definitely brag down below in the comments and let me know what a slacker I am. And if you're here because you're just getting started and, you know, you're wondering what a good trick to do before you order seeds is, make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to go through my entire seed ordering process, planting process, growing process, harvesting process. We're going to document the total 2018 season so you can follow along with me and we'll grow together. So I'll see you guys next time.